out there, but people came and showed up, so that's good.
Yeah, and today it hit 98 degrees in New Orleans. We've only had one other day that we hit 98. That's as hot as we've gotten so far this summer. Those are the numbers at the Kenner Airport. I'll show you in a second. But tonight, everything quiet after that big flare up of those storms across a big chunk of the North Shore and then across Lake Pontchartrain. This is our radar loop going back 3 hours, and then across a big part of the South Shore of Lake Pontchartrain. And there was so much lightning, really loud thunder. And I was showing you our rain totals up to 1 to 2+ inches with those pretty quick downpours. Also brought temperatures down, especially north of the lake in the 70s after hitting those highs earlier this afternoon in the upper 90s. So again, only one other day, July 29th, had temperatures this high so far this summer. We've actually had a pretty okay summer as far as, yeah, it's definitely hot. It's South Louisiana, coastal Mississippi, but at least we've had pretty good rain chances throughout most of this summer. So we've only had 4 days at the Kenner Airport where we've been at or above, say, 97. I was looking at that earlier today. So more heat, and in fact, pretty high heat tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday as this trend continues. We do have a higher chance of rain later in the week, so it won't be quite as scorching then. And then we are watching that new tropical wave in the Atlantic. We don't have any tropical threats here for at least the next week and probably beyond, but we are going to be watching that wave as we move through this work week. Wake up forecast tomorrow, though, quickly north and south of Lake Pontchartrain, 70s to about 80, that warm, humid feel with us. Highs tomorrow I have near 95. I brought it down a touch compared to what we had today because I think we'll have a bit of rain at least here and there tomorrow, and near maybe 30, possibly up to 40% rain chance. This is noon. After a quiet morning, you can see a pretty good flare up of some showers and storms, 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and then it all kind of collapses as we get towards sunset. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, there may actually be a touch less rain. I have about 30% rain chances through those days, but that may allow our temperatures to get back to about 96 or 97. Okay, into the tropics, we have Hurricane Erin. It is now a Category 3, and now, just as of the 10 p.m. advisory, back to a Category 4 storm after spending most of today at a Category 3. It's actually gaining a bit of strength. It's expanding in size, and we are expecting it to eventually, later this week, by maybe the midpoint of the week, turn into a Category 2, so no longer a major storm. But look at this track. It doesn't hit any land area directly. Some rip currents and high surf on the East Coast, and this is Bermuda. We'll see whether it gets in on some of the fringes of the action with Erin, but thankfully, it does not look like this will be barreling into any island or landmass directly. So that is a pretty good track for it to take, considering what it could be doing. Also, we're watching this, and you can see from the satellite imagery, this is just a big mess right now, but it's a tropical wave that once it reaches the orange shaded area, will have a chance of developing kind of cool waters out here for the moment. But once it moves almost to where Erin was, it'll have that chance, 40%, so a little higher chance than earlier this weekend for development in the next 7 days. Showing you low pressure centers just to give you a really big early idea. First of all, it's way too far out to say whether it will develop, how fast, where it will end up. But these are the low pressure centers with Erin, and then these are the low pressure centers. Red is GFS, green is European model with this next wave. And notice this is Friday, so all the way at the end of this upcoming week, August 22nd, this would be the placement of any sort of low pressure system, barely at the Caribbean Sea by that point. So we have a really long time to watch this, to let a few days go by and kind of see how it's taking shape. But just to give you just a really early look all the way through a week from tomorrow, you can see a general curving to the north. The Euro takes it almost exactly the same as Erin's path. The GFS has it meandering a little farther to the west. The Euro is picking up on another weakness in the big high pressure ridge, so that would draw it to the north like Erin, but the GFS does keep it a bit stronger. So we'll track it really closely. We'll keep you updated, of course, but we have no threats here. We're getting close to that September 10th peak day of hurricane season, so a big uptick in activity expected. You can see that rain chance going up as we head toward the week.